Hello and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Millie, and today I'm going to be duping the new NATASHA DENONA CIRCO LOCO eyeshadow palette. And this is a collab with my dear friend Rupy, so she will be also duping it with her own collection. So make sure you check out her video. She has lots of great content on her channel. I will link it down below, as well as her Instagram. Lots of fun reels on there, lots of indie makeup. So this palette was kind of semi-leaked or early released in a Sephora, and Anna, whose handle on Instagram is Pan These Palettes. I will link down all her information below, and she also has a YouTube channel, Anna Reed Lifestyle, and she did some swatches and some looks, and she tested out the palette. She found it in a store in Sephora. I believe this was in Europe, but at the time I'm filming this, it has not officially been released yet, but there's already been people duping it out and talking about it, so I'm assuming it's coming at some point. And it is NATASHA DENONA's first very colorful eyeshadow palettes that I know of, and I will obviously be showing it up on the screen so you can get a good feel for it. So I'm kind of going off of just photos of the palette. Some of her swatches. I will not be personally picking this palette up because I hate the outside packaging. I think it's ugly, and second of all, I really don't care for this color story. I just feel like it's a little jumbled. There's like 3 oranges in here. I don't know, I don't really feel inspired by it. Not really that exciting. I'm sure that the formula is great, but not really something that I want to spend the money on. It is the larger size, so it's a $129 palette, not the $65 palette with the smaller pans, just in case anyone's interested. So let's hop right into it. We're gonna go row by row. So I'm going to be giving you some options from different brands for some of these shades, not all of them. But for the most part, we have quite a bit of different shade options that might be similar. Again, I don't have the palette, so I can't exactly say. So first up is the shade Firework, which is a really bright green is what it looks like. And one of the 3 oranges in here almost, basically. Kind of looks like an orange a little bit. And so this one has kind of like a matching metallic orange in the palette as well, which personally I don't understand. I think it's a little bit more of a satin, so I also just don't understand why a satin orange and a matte orange, but I digress. So the contenders are Bergamotka from Glam Shop and ACM9 from Adept Cosmetics. Surprisingly, I don't have any really single orange shades. I think it's because I have a lot of bright kind of rainbow eyeshadow palettes. So let's watch these options. So first up is Bergamotka. And then the Adept Shadow, which I know doesn't swatch well, but it works fine on the lid. I would say that this one's probably brighter and closer, the Adept shade, to the shade in the NATASHA DENONA palette. Next to it is, actually looking at it now, it's a little bit more magenta. I don't actually have anything to directly dupe this out. This was kind of the closest to it. This is a Bernovich shadow. It is X16, so I'm just gonna put that next to it. Oh, this is so beautiful. Honestly, this is probably going to be more beautiful than the NATASHA DENONA one, but you didn't hear it from me. I mean, look at that shine. It's definitely lighter and less red. It's just a bit more pink. Next to it is this kind of teal shade. It looks like it has a little bit of green, so we have quite a few contenders here. We have 2 Makeup Geek shadows, Seize the Day and Time Travel, and then this is Sydney Grace's Indian Love, and then NATASHA DENONA's own Navy. I feel like this one might be closest. From seeing Anna swatch these, it looks like it's actually lighter than all of 3 of these. I would say it's probably closest to this one. Maybe it's easily built up though, so let's start off. So Seize the Day, Time Travel, definitely just a tad deeper. Oh, sorry, it's Indiana Love. Indiana Love. Wow, this one's like hard pan. This one actually looks way more gray, so I don't think it's going to be this one. That's the closest. And it does not want to swatch. And then we have Navy from NATASHA DENONA, which I think is probably one of the closest shades. So these are the contenders for duping Acrobat. Next to it is Snow Cone. It looks like a silver, but when it's swatched out in certain lighting, it looks like it has a tinge of a blue-green or something like that. So I don't think either of these will directly dupe them, but I don't have anything else that's close. This is JD Glow Silver, which is just the most amazing silver ever. So you could probably mix these two and get that shade. And then we have Mint Chip from Luxie Beauty. And this one is kind of like a duochrome, so probably not like exact. Probably actually a little bit more exciting. Next up is a light pink, which I just honestly do not understand why this shade is in here. It makes no sense. It's super, super light. So we have a couple of shades. We have two from Makeup Geek, Pretty in Pink and Cotton Candy, and then Lethal Cosmetics Remission. So starting off with Lethal Cosmetics. These are probably actually a little bit more pink and darker. I feel like maybe this one would be actually closer. And then lastly, Pretty in Pink. I think this one's way too pink. Next up is a deep shimmer blue. So I have a couple of shades here. First up is Glam Shop Rio. Then we have Deepest Darkest Secret from Touch of Glam. I would say this one's a bit too teal. And JB from Sydney Grace, which I think this one is probably closest. I do think that Electric is just a bit darker than this even. Next up is Grin, and it looks like basically a true yellow gold. So we have another one from Touch of Glam. This is Cleopatra's Crown. Mermaid from Sydney Grace. This one is older. I'm not sure if they still have this shade. And Firefly from Menagerie Cosmetics. Next shade over is Canon, and it looks like an orangey kind of metallic shade, possibly just a little bit more copper. So I didn't have anything exactly like it, but I picked out Keepsake. This is from Menagerie Cosmetics. The other shade's probably more orange. I do have a bunch of oranges to choose from. So next up is the shade Flip, and this one I have quite a bit. This looks like a metallic kind of medium toned teal. So we have a bunch of options. I'm actually going to take this one out. It looks too green in this lighting now looking at it. So we have quite a few options. This one's probably not going to be similar at all, but we'll just swatch it. First up is Bernovich X20, Glacier from Menagerie Cosmetics, JD Glow Pacific, picked up a bit much, Glam Shop Bora Bora, which I think this one's too translucent, and it also has a gold flip to it. And lastly, Marine Waters from Sydney Grace. Oh, this one's a bit more satin, but I feel like that one actually might be the closest. But I'm not sure if they carry this anymore. I'm gonna have to check. Next up is Fun to Mime. I've never heard of anything like that before, and it looks like a very light aqua kind of shade. So I did pull out these two from Lethal, but you can see this one's more green and this one's more of a true blue. Swatch this on the back of my hand. Here is Proxy from Lethal, Yonder also from Lethal, and Mochi from Sugar Pill. But I'm gonna choose this one. I actually think it's closer to a true aqua. So bottom row starting off with Spiral, and this is the kind of metallic or satin version of the matte orange. So really bright orange. So we have Solstice from Terra Moons, Orange Emperor from Touch of Glam, and Hurricane from Terra Moons as well. I think I'm gonna pick out Solstice as the closest, kind of from what I can tell. Next up is the shade Magic, and I would say these two are probably the closest. These look a little bit too light, but we'll swatch them anyway. We have Atrament from Glam Shop, Inkjet from Menagerie, Octopi from Menagerie, and Nymph from Menagerie. That one's definitely too light. Next up is Aerialist, and I did have a hard time finding a dupe to this one. It looks almost like a slightly tinged pink purple in the pan from the picture, but when it's swatched, it has definitely a more like a pastel purple periwinkle vibe. So these are the two shades I chose. So we got UBE from Luxie, and this one obviously has a very strong green tone to it, but it does have that kind of purple in it as well. And then Wavelength, and this is from Terra Moons. And this one's very, very purple, as you can see. Next shade is Act, and I really actually don't have anything similar to this. This is pretty much the closest I could get, and this is Flannel from Cindy Grace. But I would say that Act looks just a bit more cool toned. So for the last shade, I have a couple of options. I would say it looks very, very bright, but I'm just not sure if it's quite neon like these two. But so that's why I included these other two shades, but let's just swatch them. First up is Cosmic Blaze, which is a neon pigment from Terra Moons. Meet Me on Mars, which this one's a bit more red. Staycation from Makeup Geek, not very bright at all. And Wisteria from Menagerie Cosmetics. So here's my final pick for all the dupes, and this is my finished duped NATASHA DENONA CIRCO LOCO palette. So I'm going to swatch this all together now. So don't forget to check out Rupy's video to see which shades in her collection from all kinds of different brands she has to dupe out this palette. Who knows, you might have already some of those shades that you might not have in my collection, and vice versa. I will link down her channel and her Instagram down below in the description box. Let me know in the comments below if you plan on picking this palette up once it does release. Are you interested in it? What do you think of the color story? What do you think of the packaging? I really am curious to hear your thoughts on this very colorful NATASHA DENONA eyeshadow palette. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, I would love it if you subscribe. There's lots of indie makeup, lots of shiny, shifty, and sparkly eyeshadow content already on my channel, and much more to come. You don't want to miss out. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.